Hello and welcome to yet another fascinating episode of Influences of Times. As always, thank you so much for joining me today as we continue to go in search of Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. So thank you for joining me today, for tuning in and for watching on this bank holiday Monday the 1st of May 2017. So thank you for taking some time out of your day, of your bank holiday Monday, and hopefully if you're not doing anything, if there's nothing much on the TV, then hopefully you will join me for this fascinating episode in this series. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch me on our 31st episode of Series 2. Now, for those of you, and just bear with me for those that have heard this before, but I always like to say a special warm welcome to the people that are watching for the first time. So if you are watching this live broadcast, whether it's live right now on Facebook, or whether you're watching this broadcast later today on Facebook, or whether you're watching this broadcast on the YouTube channel for the very first time, if you've never watched Influences of Times before and you're wondering what all this is about, just bear with me a few seconds while I just give you a little bit of insight. You have joined us at our 31st episode of Series 2, and if you are interested and would like to know more about Influences of Times, if you'd like to catch up with all of the other 30 episodes along with all the photographs and all the fascinating information about each of the places that we've been to or that I've been to and taking you personally over the last 30 previous locations in Great Britain, then you can do in 4 easy steps. And the whole reason and purpose behind this live broadcast, today's as well as the other 30s, is that I am currently running a series, a social media series, a documentary if you like, into Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. And the whole purpose and reason behind that is to give you first-hand, if you like, first-hand insight into each of these individual places. So it's to actually do a live broadcast from within each place to give you a look as to actually what the places look like in their current state. But it's also to take photographs, to do urban photography, to give you a chance to see for yourselves the photographs that I'm able to take of each place, and in a way, I suppose, capturing those moments, capturing those places in their entirety, in their current state, so that you can view the photographs at your leisure and you can pick which ones you like and everything else. But it's also to give you the historical information about each place as well, so tell you a little bit about each place, to tell you about what the place was used for, how long it's been abandoned for, when it was closed, when it opened, when it was built, who by, just to give you all the historical information. And as always with any of the episodes and with any of the locations that I've been to, you are more than welcome to Google each place for yourselves and read up on yourselves. But my job is to make it a little bit more interesting for you so that you can literally just watch the live broadcast, see for yourselves what the place looks like. I can give you all the information and then you can have a look at the photographs at your leisure off your mobile device or PC. So basically I'm doing all the legwork for you, but I thought it would be more interesting to do a live broadcast from each place, to make it a little bit more interesting and to kind of engage with you if you like. So that's the whole reason and purpose behind not only this live broadcast but all the other 30 locations that I've been to. And if you are interested, as I mentioned earlier, there are 4 easy ways that you can catch up with all of Influences of Times in the series so far. Basically, all you have to do is go to Facebook. So the first and easiest way is obviously go to Facebook. And all you have to do is, on the search tab at the top, is type in Influences of Times and you can join the Influences of Times Facebook page. It's a dedicated Facebook page to Influences of Times and the series, so you can scroll at your leisure through all the photographs, read up on all the locations, and also watch all the live broadcasts at your leisure. Now, if YouTube is a lot easier for you, and I know it is probably easier because you can simply just watch the episodes one after the other, or simply pick the ones that you like, not a problem. All you have to do is go to YouTube, just search for the Influences of Times channel, and you can watch all 30, if you like, all 31, including today's episodes of Influences of Times, so you can catch up that way. If blog is your thing, now bearing in mind blog is the newest social media outlet that I have, so I am playing catch up, so I'm kind of catching up in a way, and I haven't updated blog for probably nearly 2 weeks, and you'll have to bear with me because I've been very busy doing this, doing these live broadcasts and obviously doing this series. But I will be updating the blog. But if you are interested and you're more of a blog and you'd like to kind of read up about how Influences of Time started, then all you have to do is type in, go to Google or whichever kind of internet server that you use, and just simply type in influencesoftimes.blogspot.co.uk. You can catch up with Influences of Times on our blog. As I mentioned, I'm playing catch up, so a lot of the photographs are from previous episodes, but over time I will obviously catch up, and all you have to do is on there, it's like a kind of journal or diary. So basically what I do is I just upload a photograph and give a little paragraph about what I felt, what the place, what the photograph's about. It's kind of like a kind of a diary, if you like. So that's our newest social media outlet, but that is being updated as we speak. So if you are interested, you can go to that. Or if you like the internet, and the internet is more of your thing, and you're interested in my drone photography work as well as this Influencer Time series, easy peasy. All you have to do is visit www.camdronephotography.co.uk. You can look at all the cam drone photography that I take, and on there is a page or a heading on the homepage, Influencer Times. You just click on there, and that is a dedicated page on my website to the series, and every single location that we've been to and visited so far in the series is on there. You can have a look at all the photographs, and obviously I've put all the information about each place where possible on there as well. So there's 4 easy ways you can catch up. So here we are, episode 31 of series 2. Now if you cast your minds back, for those of you that are watching, maybe you haven't watched over the last couple of days, maybe we've had a busy week or everything else, we did episode 29 was at the absolutely beautiful, stunning Builders Abbey just outside of Telford on I believe it was on Wednesday. So we did that on Wednesday. On Friday we did a live broadcast from another place. Now just bear with me because my mind has gone completely blank. We did a live broadcast from another location on Friday. My mind's gone completely blank. See what happens when you do live broadcasts, because you're so focused on what you're doing, your mind goes blank. Anyway, we did live broadcast, episode 30, we did on Friday. That's right, we went to Staffordshire, We went to Staffordshire and we looked at an abandoned train, or should I say an abandoned, it was like abandoned wagons and carriages. I have to say that was an absolutely extraordinary discovery, well not discovery, but an extraordinary investigation. I absolutely loved photographing and seeing them trains. That was something else. So that was on Friday, and then obviously I've had 2 days of rest, and then obviously today is our 31st episode. Okay, so we're in series 2. Okay, so Fridays was the start of series 2, and this is obviously now series 2. Before I go any further, there's just a couple of things that I want to say. I don't want to bore you or anything, but just a couple of things. For those of you that are watching this live broadcast, and if you're watching it on Facebook, or whether you're watching it on YouTube or that kind of thing, if you are interested in doing urban photography, and obviously urban photography and urban exploration is basically exploring man-made structures that are no longer in use. That's basically what the definition of it. I just want to clarify that if there is anybody out there who's watching this live broadcast and you are considering doing urban photography or exploration, please don't take it lightheartedly. It is a serious thing to do, okay? And you have to understand that you do it at your own risk, okay? You do it at your own risk, and it makes no difference whether you're going to go off on your own like me. I probably wouldn't say, it's probably better to go with some people. The only reason why I do it by myself is because I don't really have anyone else to go with, although I would absolutely love to have some company, and I'd love to do a live broadcast with somebody together. But if you are thinking of doing anything like this, if this is interesting you and you like what I'm doing and you're thinking of doing it yourselves, please be careful. Don't take it lightheartedly. Okay, you are entering into abandoned derelict places that are potentially dangerous. It doesn't matter if it looks dangerous or not. Every derelict place is dangerous in its own way. Please do not take any risks. Take it seriously and do it at your own risk. I would advise you to if preferably do it with some people if you can. Like I said, a group of you is better. However, also bear in mind that if you do go into abandoned and derelict places that are not accessible, then obviously you are trespassing. Okay, so it is serious. Okay, now bearing in mind that all the locations and abandoned places that I take you so far are accessible. Under no circumstances do I do anything that I shouldn't. Okay, so every place that I've been to so far. However, I have to stress and say that if you are going to do urban photography or anything like what I'm doing, you do it at your own risk. But please take care, be careful. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. So I just wanted to say that for those of you that are watching and thinking that they'd like to try something like this, you please do take it seriously. Take it very seriously, and make sure that you're safe and that you don't take any risks. I don't climb, I don't go anywhere where I think is potentially going to, because you never know about these abandoned places. So that's all I'm going to say. But please do take it very seriously. and where possible, ask permission. I have asked permission before, trust me. I may not announce it, but I do ask permission. There's been a number of locations that I've asked permission, and there is in actual fact, there's actually a number of locations that I would like to have done a broadcast that have actually been declined. Okay, so I have been declined because it's potentially too dangerous, and obviously they haven't got the manpower, if you like, to kind of babysit me while I'm in there. So I do take this seriously, and I do, you know, I make sure that I do this properly. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say to anybody who's thinking of doing this. Now, okay, how's about we get started on our next place? Now you're probably thinking, if I just move to one side, you're probably thinking there's nothing there. Little do you know, and I'm going to show you in a minute. In fact, I'm going to show you now. Now, I haven't brought my tripod. Now, I got on the train and I thought, I forgot my tripod, so I'm going to have to use my hand. And the reason why my hands are free is because I've actually got my camera balanced on my drone, and I've got a bottle of Coke holding it in place. That's the only way I could do it. But we're going to have to use my hand. I'm afraid I forgot my tripods. Okay, so how's about I give you a look at what's next to me. I think you're going to like where we are, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the place, and then we are going to go and have a look. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to pick you up, so just bear with me. That's it. So hopefully you can still see me okay. I'm going to put my Coke, see, bottle of Coke. Oh, you can probably see there on the side. Didn't really want you to see that, but never mind. Anyway, okay, so we are at our next location. No, you need to look the other way. No, you need to look there. There we go. We are at our next location. We are currently at Willington Cooling Power Station, or what's left of it. Now there's nothing. Sorry, I'm going to take my camera off that's it, because I'm kind of shaking. I'm kind of kneeling on the floor, look. Kneeling on the floor. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll everybody to one side. Zip. There you go, that's better. Okay, so we are at Willington Cooling Power Station. Now the actual station itself is no longer here, so only the cooling towers are left. Okay, and there's 5 all together. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to give you the historical information, and then we're going to go in there, and I'm going to show you what it's like. I'm going to show you. That's pretty impressive. Now, look at the scale. I mean, I'm sitting a little away from it, but look at the scale of that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but have you, I mean, people like me, you know, you see things like this, you see it on the train, see it on the road. I mean, maybe you know places near where you live. I know Wales, that kind of thing. I think of I think it's Port Talbot. There's a massive steelworks down there, and they've got these there. And I've often wondered what it would be like to actually come to one of these, to actually get up close and personal to one, to not only stand beside it but go in it, to actually see what it looks like inside. I've always wanted to do. It's just one of those things. And when we were travelling to Doncaster on Monday to try and do a broadcast, which we weren't able to do, I actually passed these and found out that these were abandoned and derelict, and I thought that would be a perfect opportunity to round off the bank holiday weekend before I go back to work. So that's where we are. So at Willington Cooling Power Station. Let me give you a little bit of historical information. Okay, so these towers were built around the 1957 mark. Okay, that's when they were originally built, around 1957. And there were actually 2 stations here on the same site. And they were known as Willington A and Willington B. Willington A owned 2 of the towers. Willington B owned 3 of the towers. The size and the scale, I'm going to stand up because I just want to show you there's nothing to see, but this is the actual site. This is where the cooling stations would have been. Okay, so this is the area that they would have been. Now you can get an idea of just how big. So the stations would have gone right up to the perimeter of them trees in the background. So right across there. So you can see it's all gone. It's all flattened. It's all gone. Right the way across. All the way back around to here. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that way because you've got something to see. There you go. How's that? That's a bit better for you. So, because the site was so big, and there was, as you can imagine, there was so much management. I mean, obviously, these 2 stations shared this one site, and the amount of management and staff and facilities was so great. You can imagine the supply of coal and water that was supplied to this power station. Now, these two power stations combined continued to work through the 60s, the 70s and the 80s. And in the 1980s, I think it was about 1989, was when the site was taken over by National Power. Okay, so we've all had a National Power. So National Power took over this site around the late 1980s, and it actually closed in the early 1990s. I think it was like 1992 or something like that. Now Willington A is closest to the main road, and Willington B was furthest away. Alright, now Willington A closed first around the I think it was like 1992 or 1995, somewhere around there, and Willington B closed a couple of years later. It actually closed altogether in 1999. Okay, so that's when the site completely closed and they demolished the power station altogether, apart from these. Now these chimney towers, or these cooling towers, are going to be demolished soon. So I'm so glad that I was able to come here today and do a live podcast before they're gone. Now it doesn't say when they're going to be demolished, but there is talks about these towers being demolished soon. Okay. Now, even though this has been abandoned and derelict since 1999, around 2000, I think it was like 2000 or somewhere around there, a pair of peregrine falcons. Now, obviously, peregrine falcons are birds of prey. A pair of peregrine falcons began to nest in one of these cooling towers, and in fact, they were so popular that it was widely known. Okay, so these pair of peregrine falcons that nested in these towers, in one of these towers, became I wouldn't say famous, but it was a widely known story, because they were nesting in an incredible site. I mean, to actually nest in one of these was unheard of, and so it was a widely publicised story that two peregrine falcons were nesting in one of the cooling towers here at Willington Power, or cooling station. Okay, now that's all the information that I can give you. There isn't really anything else. So what I will do, as with every broadcast, later today or tomorrow, over the next couple of days, I will put a more detailed account, if you like. I mean, there's nothing really much else to say, but I'll put the description, I'll put the historical information about these cooling towers on the website, and also little snippets on Facebook as well. Okay, but that's the historical information. So they were built in 1957. Willington A and Willington B. Willington A was closest to the main road, and Willington B was furthest away from the main road. Both sites were independent. They were different stations, but they both shared the same site. Okay, so Willington A owned 2, Willington B owned 3 cooling towers. The first station to close was Willington A, and Willington B a few years later. And in the late 1980s was when National Power took over this. And then in 1999, I think, or somewhere around there, was when the stations actually closed. Okay, and they demolished the stations and left the cooling towers. And these are going to be demolished very soon. So that's to give you a little bit of insight. So, how's about we now go investigate and have a look? So, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's them. They're the same size. Look at the one that's behind me. I mean, the scale. Okay, so you've got them two, a bit further away. They're literally just over there, and that. I'm just blown away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my drone on, because I'm hoping to do some drone photography in a little while after the broadcast, and do a little bit of filming. But just bear with me while I put this back on my back, and then we are going to go and have a look. Now, 3 of the cooling towers have got the cooling block still inside. Okay, so now we can't climb anywhere, and even if we could, I wouldn't anyway, because it's far too dangerous. But 3 of the cooling towers have got the cooling blocks inside, and 2 were empty. So what we'll do is we'll look at the ones with the blocks in first, and then we'll go over to one of the ones that are completely empty, and you can see just how big they look inside. Okay, and we'll have a look at the little motors that are still here as well. So how's about we're going to have a look. So let's go this way. So we're going to go check out this one. Okay, so the other 2, they've got the breeze blocks, they've got the cooling blocks, and this one's got cooling blocks. So we're going to go and check this one out because it's closer to us. And then we're going to go and have a look at one of the ones without any blocks in it at all. So like I said, you have to bear with me if the camera's shaky, because obviously I haven't got my tripod. But bear with me. So there's the two behind us. Look at that. That will give you an idea of the scale. I don't know about you, but that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. I have never in my entire life ever been this close to a cooling tower, ever. And I've taken plenty of photographs today, okay, in and around the area, so I've taken plenty of photographs. All the photographs will be on Facebook later, so I've taken some pretty cool pictures. Okay, so we're going to now stand on here. Right. Let me just do that. Okay, so there we go. So we are now standing directly under the rim. Look at that. So that'll give you an idea of what it looks like to stand right at the edge of one of these towers looking up. You can see inside anyway. Have a look in there. I'm going to go and have a look. Let's go and have a look. Oh. It is quite windy, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. So we're now actually standing underneath. And what I'll try and do is I'll just try and find somewhere that's a little bit less windy, because the wind obviously blows through here. Okay, do you want to have a look? I'll show you what it's like. And the echo in here is phenomenal. Have a look at this place. So I'm gonna lift up. I'll do what I normally do. Oh man, I should put my gloves on today. Right, let me just hold the phone steady. Okay, have a look. So we're now standing underneath the cooling tower. So you can see the cooling blocks are still there. That's what those black things are just up there. They're the cooling blocks. And this is what it looks like inside one of these cooling towers. Look at that. Have a look up there. So I'm just going to do this so you can see. And I'm hoping you can get out and see. There's the top. That's pretty cool. And I'm absolutely just blown away by the size of the mirrors. They're going to be big anyway, but it's not until you get up and close and personal you can actually see. Have a look at this thing behind me. So this is what blows the steam or the smoke up through the chimney. So if you've ever wondered where it comes from one of these. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around the other side so you can see it. So let's go around this way. It's just barely. So I'll give you another look. Have another look up there. Look. So that's the cooling blocks. So you can see we've walked underneath. It's kind of like struts, if you like. So that's what blows the steam or the smoke up through the top of the chimney. It's like it's like a big concrete tube. But have a look. So it's looking straight up to the top. You can get a scale. You can kind of see what it's like. So you've got this big structure right in the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to walk this way and I'll show you. And like I said, there's not really much point in looking at the other two because they're identical to this one. But I will take you to one of the ones that hasn't got any of this in it. You can see just how big it is. It's impressive. Okay, so we're going to walk up here. Yep. Oh, just walk up through this way. That's it. Okay, so we've now come back up the other side. So we've walked kind of underneath it, if you like. And next, so you've got the thing, the chimney. So this is the one that we've just been under. Can you see that there? That's what's left of the generator or the motor. So next to each of these 5 cooling towers is one of them. And that's almost like, it's like a big engine or generator. And that's what, if you like, drove the steam or the smoke, if you like, powered it from, obviously it comes from under the ground, from pipes that were connected to the power stations themselves, drove it through the concrete tunnel and pushed it up through the vent in the middle. So we can go and have a, well, I say go and have a look. I can kind of show you if you like. So we've got the little flat steps. And this is it. So it's like a big, you see what I mean about, obviously we've got, I don't know if you can see inside, if I show you. There's like a thing in the middle. So I just heard a noise, and sorry, just bear with me. Okay, somebody's got a drone. They've got a racing drone and they're flying it in the chimney next to where I'm standing, but I can't actually see who it is. Can you hear it? It's like a little buzzing noise. They're actually flying it inside the chimney next to me. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can. I wonder where they're standing. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so you've got like this kind of tube. So it's kind of like a thing in the middle, and this you can see this opening, and that would have connected to that. And there's like a little, I can see there's like they've obviously chiseled it off or cut it away. There would have been like it looks like not a pipe, it's solid, so it would have been like something that turned. So it obviously, I think maybe that was what cooled the blocks. Maybe that was something that cooled the blocks in there to assist with making, because obviously I think if you get like cold air and hot air, the cold air would push the heat up, so maybe that's what it did. But yeah, so that's what that is there, and it joins to there, and you can see that concrete thing, you see it? So it runs all the way across to the middle to there. So it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, just bear with me one sec. What I'm going to do, I want to show you what it's like in here. That's it. Oh. I'm just fascinated by that drone. Like I said, somebody's got a drone, a racing drone, and they're flying around. Okay, so we're now, so that's the engine joined onto this. There you go. And this is what's in the middle. Okay. So we're going to walk across the top of this to the middle there, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm still trying to find. So I'm just trying to work out who's flying that drone, like a racing thing. Sorry, just don't know. I don't know. Can't even see him. Don't know who's got it. How funny. Don't know. Anyway, right. So we're now walking across the front. Oh, have a look above me. Have a look now. So that's looking straight up to the top of the tower. If I just give you an idea, so that's what the blocks look like, the cooling blocks, that's what they look like. So there's that thing in the middle. You see it? There's a little bit of graffiti there. And that's how it looks. It's just this great big structure. This is what it came to. So it came from that end across here, and it came into this great big circular thing, got like this concrete, I suppose, tube, and got pushed out through that vent just up there and out through the top. So that's what it looks like actually inside one of these. So how's about we go across to the one where the drone was flying, and I'll actually show you what it looks like inside one of these cooling towers with nothing in it. It's impressive. So I just give you another look so you can see what it's like. So if I just do that look. There you go, you can see a bit better. So you can see there. That's pretty cool. Like I said, the other two towers are identical to this, so there's no point in me taking you in there because you'll just be looking at an identical, literally identical to this one here. So what we'll do is we'll walk back across. The sun's coming out now, so that's good. hopefully you're finding this interesting. Hopefully you're finding it interesting because, like me, you know, we never get a chance to actually see what it's like inside these, and to have an opportunity to do so is just amazing. I am absolutely blown away and just staggered, if you like, by the sheer size. He's, oh, I can see him now. I don't really want to go in there when he's flying it because I don't want to put him off. Okay. Well, let's go back around this way anyway. So we're just going to walk this way. There we go. I might just recline back over here. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's it. Back down the stairs. So, yeah. Okay. We'll walk this way. Like I said, I don't really want to put him off. So, and the next one, I suppose we could go to the next one, but that's pretty cool. I think what I'll do is maybe I should just show you. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to put him off. So you've got the cooling tower there. That's it. You can hear it. That's pretty cool. I really want to show you inside one of these without this. I think that's funny. Let's walk along this way anyway. So if I just show you. Kind of next to us. One of them. And you can kind of see what it's like. So have a look behind me. So this is what it looks like inside one of these cooling towers without anything in it. If we go a bit further in, I think he's not flying now. Cooling box in. These are the two without. But have a look what it's like in here. That's what it looks like. That's the size and you can see the edge there. But that's what it looks like. See, massive, absolutely massive. So there we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out of the way because I think it's going to fly his drone and I don't want to get in his way. And we'll come back up, but at least you had an idea of what it looked like in here. Oh. So what we'll do is we'll go back. I'll take you back to one of the ones with cooling things inside. Then we'll finish the podcast and we'll do some air photography. And I think I might go and see what they do actually. I think it's pretty cool. So we'll go this way. So we'll just climb back over the. There we go. It was. I've kind of got an idea. So we'll walk over this way. So you can kind of. That's the tower that we went in. What an amazing place to fly a drone inside there. Now what I'm hoping to do today is when I do some filming, is I'd like to do the same. I'd like to take my drone inside there and actually take it up through the tower so you can actually see what it would be like. So let's go and take another look at one of the ones with the blocks. Now, I'm hoping you're not finding this boring, because obviously we're doing quite a bit of walking and that kind of thing, but I didn't want to spend too much time in there, because obviously when somebody's flying, the last thing they want is, you know, and if he's making a film or filming, the last thing I want to do is kind of for me to be in it. So we managed to kind of have a quick look when he was changing the battery over, so that's why I'll give you a quick look. So we're now in the second one, or approaching the second one. Have a look. That's the second one. So you see you've got like the engine thing there again. Have a look. And then we're going to finish the broadcast, because there's nothing much else I can show you apart from the same as the other one. So there we go. So we're now standing at the second one. So as you approach it, so it's the same, exactly the same. So you've got this big long pipe, runs to the middle and then up through the vent. So that's kind of it really. Like I said, the third one is exactly the same. You can see the third one is just across there behind the struts. So it's just the same really. So I'm going to finish the broadcast there. Now I'm hoping you found this interesting. I know it's quite short, quite quick in a way. Obviously there's nothing else to look at apart from these cooling towers, but I did think it would be, and the sun's coming in now, and to be fair, it's actually a really, really nice day. I'm hoping you found this interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed having a look at these cooling towers as much as I did. And as I mentioned in the broadcast, I am just totally blown away by the sheer scale and size. Now, I'm hoping you got a sense of that on the camera, but sometimes the camera has a way of making things look a bit smaller. Believe me, these, as you well know, as you've seen them in real life, these are massive. I mean, if I put my hand up, it looks tiny. It is enormous. I mean, I can't describe it to you. And to stand in one of these and actually look inside and to, there you go, look, to look right to the top, it just blows my mind. It is absolutely extraordinary. It really is. I mean, I don't know, I can't compare this to another broadcast really. I think every broadcast has its own uniqueness. I mean, the trains were just fascinating, because to get up close and personal to them and see how big they were was just incredible. This is just different in its own way. I wouldn't say there's a strange atmosphere here, but obviously it's very quiet. There's nothing here apart from these towers. It's not eerie or anything, it's just a very, I don't know, just a very quiet atmosphere, very surreal in a way. You've got these monumental structures and there's just absolute peace and quiet. It's actually quite nice, to be honest. Okay guys, I'm going to finish the broadcast there, so I'm going to do some flying, do some filming, aerophotography. As I mentioned, hopefully you found this interesting. Thank you so very much for joining me on Bank Holiday Monday, for joining me on your Bank Holiday weekend for episode 31 of Series 2 of Influence of the Times. As we continue, and I will continue to go in search of Britain's most abandoned and derelict places. Now, I don't know when the next broadcast, because obviously this is the one that I thought of last minute really and saw on the train to Doncaster, so I don't actually know when the next broadcast will be coming to you or where from. I'm not quite sure yet, but rest assured, the next broadcast will be coming your way very soon. As soon as I know when or where, or have a rough idea, I will put an event on Facebook. Now, I am aware of the fact that yesterday or last night I did put that this broadcast would be on YouTube, and that's only because I was having some technical issues with the Facebook Live option. But thankfully, the live option works this morning absolutely fine, so I'm so pleased and glad that we could still do our live broadcast on Facebook. But however, I would like to do one live show on YouTube, and we'll do that later at another time. So until then, enjoy the rest of your Bank Holiday Monday. Whatever you're doing, relax and enjoy. Thank you for watching me, Influence of the Times, as we continue to go in search of Britain's most abandoned and derelict places like these beautiful cooling towers, and they are beautiful, really. Even though we know what they did, they polluted the air, but in their own way, they are actually quite awesome. I feel absolutely humbled and privileged to come. I just can't believe it, to actually stand and look inside one of them. It's just incredible. So until then, till the next time, when I will see you right back here live on Facebook for our next episode, will be episode 32 of Influence of the Times Series 2. These photographs that I've taken of today will be in my new book. My brand new book is already being made. For those of you who are interested in my first book, obviously just get in touch, contact me, and you can buy the first edition, or the first book that I've done with like 12 locations in it, but this is going to be featured in series 2, or should I say book number 2. There's already a couple of places. I'll just give you some insight. Already the incineration waste plant that we did a couple of weeks ago is in the second book. We've also got the trains are in there. These are going to be in there. And we've also got the Abbey in the second book as well. And also, what's really nice is that the app that I do this from is updated. So now I've included a page with a whole description about where the idea of Influencers of the Times came from. And I'm hoping somebody's watching today. I haven't mentioned any names, but I have mentioned and given you a little bit of insight, a little bit of a story as to where the idea originally came from, how it all started, where the idea came from, how Influencers of the Times was thought of, and how it all came into being. So I'm really pleased to say that in the second book there will be a page with a nice little paragraph as an introduction into the beginning. That's what it's called, the beginning, how it all started. And here we are, nearly a year later, series 2, and we're still going strong. And I am so excited that there are plenty of more episodes coming your way, and we're even looking at going abroad with this series as well after the UK. So we've got plenty to look forward to, as well as my camera photography as well. So there we go, plenty to look forward to. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. I'll leave you one last look at these fascinating things, these amazing towers. Until the next time I see you right here live on Facebook for episode 32 of Influencers of the Times Series 2. Coming your way very soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for watching me, Influencers of the Times. See you very soon. Ciao for now.